Hey friends, it's me, Amy Rebecca, your internet bestie for all things personal development, intentional living and dream chasing, and a girl who is just trying her best to figure out her life. It's a work in progress. Anyway, we are about to embark on a whole new month, so it's time to do a monthly reset, but I'm gonna kind of switch things up a little bit this month. Up until this point, my monthly reset videos have kind of been a little bit of everything smushed into one. So we've done reflections on spending from the previous month, budgeting for the month to come, cash stuffing, goal setting, the whole thing. Felt like a little bit of overkill. So I'm going to separate it out. We're going to do monthly budgeting, cash stuffing, all things expenses and money related in my monthly resets here. And then if you want to go and watch my goal setting and reflections on my achievements and could have done betters from the previous month, then you can go and watch that over on Patreon for free. I'm not going to be charging you guys for those videos. I just feel like it's going to be less overwhelming to split it up. So I will link that down below. You can go and watch it for free. But for right now, in this video, we're going to be dealing with finances. Well, we're going to be dealing with finances, but first we're going to be dealing with coffee because we still have to introduce the coffee of the month. I'm going a little bit rogue with the coffee of the month for September because I'm choosing an instant coffee. I'm gonna do the Beanies birthday cake flavored instant coffee because September is my birthday month and I want to wake up and have birthday cake every single day of the month. Why not? I'm a grown up, I can do what I want. I haven't tasted it yet. I thought we would do it together. That's good. It's weird actually because it tastes just like a cake and my mouth is almost wanting to chew, but it's just liquid. My brain is going to need to get used to this one, but delicious. Now we're going to move on to the part of the video where I ask you to please not judge me. We're going to have a little look at what I spent last month in August and how my finances are doing. Okay. So here it is in all of its glory, my monthly budgeting spreadsheet. I did not make this one. I cannot take credit for this. I got it on Etsy. I'll leave a link in the description box down below. I highly recommend it. I mean, look at these graphs. If you're a spreadsheet nerd, then you get it. Let me start by saying that August turned out to be a pretty expensive month for me. And I think I've made things more complicated than they needed to be, as I tend to do. So let's just walk through it and see what we're dealing with. So my total income for the month of August came out to £972, which we'll talk about in a second. My total expenses came out to £882.29, and then I actually ended up with £89.71 left over, which I don't know how. So this £972, if we have a look over here, is because I had my usual £750 budget. That's the amount that I give myself every month to spend. But then on top of that, I had to draw money out of my sinking funds to help pay for some stuff that I'd already stuffed that cash away for. And I had that £85 that, if you remember from last month, I got from selling some of my Nana's jewellery. So that's where the £972 comes from. Let's move on. And if we take a look over here, you can see my balance overview, which kind of shows you a rough idea of what my spending looked like for the month. And you can see that I was actually trying really hard to keep as much money back as possible. I was working really hard not to spend anything. I really wanted to end the month with lots of money left over. And that's because I ended up putting a couple of things on my credit card and I wanted to have the money there at the end of the month to just immediately pay that off without having to dip into my short-term savings. And it didn't work out that way. Because look, I had this initial dip where I went to Warwickshire with my mum, and then you can see I'm barely spending anything at all. I have another little dip midway through the month and I'm barely spending anything. I'm really trying my best. And then, in the last 10 days of the month, I don't know what happened. I lost all sense. So let's delve a little deeper into these expenses, shall we? Okay, for groceries, I set myself the budget of £20 and I came in way under. I only spent £8.01, so that's great. Eating out, is that true? Did I come under on eating out? The woman was too stunned to speak. Yeah, I only spent £34.89 on eating out, so I was under there as well. Petrol is one of those funny ones because I cash stuff for petrol, so I actually didn't spend £50 on petrol this month, but I stuffed it away. Drinks, oh good grief. I budgeted £30 and spent £66.13. I have nothing to say for myself about that. I just really like wine. Coffee, I budgeted £5 and came in at £4.25. Gifts, I budgeted £30 and ended up spending £68. Let me tell you something, okay? I don't even have that many close people in my life. I don't have that many close friends. I don't have a particularly large family to buy gifts for. So can someone please explain to me why I am spending all of my gift money every single month? Everyone's out here passing their A-levels, having a baby, getting married, doing all the things. It's expensive to, like, know people, you know? Okay, clothing. Clothing, I budgeted £40 and I spent £114.50. And I want to say something about this, okay? Because I went to a vintage shop when I was in Warwickshire and I spent £50 there, I believe. Now that I'm saying that out loud, that isn't even half of what I've spent on clothing in the month. But it's not like I was just in New Look and I saw something kind of bog standard. I was in the vintage shop. I was never going to see these clothes again. Yikes. Takeaways, I budgeted £20 and actually spent £31.68. That's the first time I've had takeaways in a while. Social, I budgeted £50 and spent £10.25. Because August has been my least social month out of the year so far, I believe. I had no plans. Not a single one plan. So that was cheap. Health, I budgeted £40 and I spent £110. That's one of the areas where my sinking funds came in because I stuff away £35 a month for my contact lenses. So that's okay. I had accounted for that money. Books, I budgeted £10 and only spent £1.60. Got one in the charity shop. Toiletries, I budgeted £10 and spent £16.99. Transport was nothing and I spent nothing. Hair care, budgeted a £5 and spent nothing. Skincare, budgeted £30, spent nothing. Makeup, spent nothing. I mean, when you look at it that way, it was a really good month. But then when you see what I spent on beauty treatments, you're like, not so much. Because I budgeted £55, which is my regular cash stuff, and I spent 108. Let me explain this. At the start of August, I got my nails and my toenails done, but because I need to get my gels redone every kind of 3.5 weeks, and I got it done in the first week of August, it meant that I then had to go back again a second time in August and get them done again. The calendar was just working against me. And I also got a haircut, which I desperately needed. I hadn't had one since like April. Trips, I budgeted £100 and only spent 58 to 55. That was my trip to Warwickshire, although a lot of that went on the credit card, so we have yet to pay for it. Subscriptions, I budgeted 45 and spent 42.97. Charity, I budgeted 5 and spent £12.49. Hobbies, I budgeted £50 and spent 53.99. Car, budgeted £50 of my regular cash stuff, ended up spending 80, which again, a lot of that came out of my sinking funds, but that was just the money that I paid the mechanic to fix the thing because my car broke down and I almost lost my mind, in case you missed that whole drama. Now I still have to pay next month the £200 for the car part that I put on my credit card. Welcome to the complicated way I do my finances. And miscellaneous, I budgeted 30 and spent £9.99. But I still came in under budget, remember, because I had that extra £85 as well as the sinking funds to draw from, which I think this month has really cemented in my mind the importance of sinking funds for me. Because if I hadn't been putting £50 away just in case of emergencies for my car, and then I got hit with a £280 like fee to fix my car, I would have cried and then cried more. Okay, so with all of that said, let's budget for September, and I am gonna say that I've already put some figures in here. I have the money that's on my credit card, so the £200 for the car, the £183 for the trip, another £14.20 for the trip, and then I have all of my regular expenses in here too. And then at the bottom, I've put all of my cash stuffing, so that way I know how much I have left to spend for the month. That cannot be true. £47.33. The math is not mathing. That cannot be true. Okay, first things first, I'm going to bring all of my leftover money from last month forward to this month to help me pay off that £200 for my car. And I will still have sinking funds money for my car also. I've got another £50 and I'm going to use the £40 I didn't use for petrol last month. So that's another £90. Man, that still only gives me £217.33 for the whole month. And it's my birthday month. Being a grown-up is so overrated. Okay, let's start doling out the rest of this money, of which we do not have much. So groceries, I'm gonna keep it to £10. Eating out is gonna be expensive. I've already got 2 meals booked for my birthday. Let's go with £50. Drinks, I will be out for my birthday. We'll probably spend £50. Coffee, £5. All of these ones that I've already got in here, by the way, are all cash stuffing envelopes, so I already know what I'm putting aside for those. Clothing, it has to be nothing. Surely to goodness. What do you have left to buy? Takeaways, I'm gonna give myself, I'm gonna have to give myself 0. Social, I want to be social. Let's be social for £30. Books, I'm gonna give myself 10. Toiletries, I don't think I need any toiletries in the upcoming month. No transport. I know I need a new shampoo bar, so we're gonna have to account for that. Skincare, I really need new eye cream, but girl, can I afford it? Left to budget is minus £390. How can that be? Okay, if I put in the £25 for my eye cream, let's just see. I need a new concealer. That's gonna be £10. Trips, 0. Girl, you can't take any trips this month. Subscriptions, it's 45. Charity, 5. Hobbies, it's gonna be 50. Misc, 0. So that is £525. How do we work this out? Okay, this makes more sense. So now if I stuck within these parameters, then I would be £45 under budget. I don't see that happening. Do you? Oh my gosh, that was like Mr. Toad's wild ride. Sorry if that was confusing. That was confusing for me too, but we're done. We have the budget set up for next month, and now we're gonna stuff some cash. Okay, welcome to my favorite part of these budgeting videos, which is the cash stuffing. Something about it just speaks to my soul, although I do tend to get a little bit confused. So let's work through it together. The first envelope I have in here is health, and that is for my contact lenses. It is back to being empty again because I just bought my 3-month supply. So we need to put £35 in there. But as per always, I don't have any 5s. I just like to make my life very complicated. The next envelope is my car envelope. Now I do have some money left over in here after I paid the mechanic. I have £50 left in here. I'm obviously gonna need that to pay for that £200 car part. And what I'm gonna do, go with me, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out the leftover petrol money because I only spent £7 on petrol last month because my car was off the road. So I'm gonna take the £40 left over from that. I'm gonna put it with the car money. We're gonna pay in our usual £50. And with all of that together, the money that was already in the car envelope, the petrol money, and this month's cash stuff, we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 30, 40. So that means I only need to take another £60 out of my budget to pay for that car part. So hallelujah for sinking funds and cash stuffing, because otherwise I would be crying, like I said. Then my beauty envelope is obviously empty because I went a little bit wild in August and treated myself. So I need to put £55 in there, although again, I do not have 5s. Next, I have my gift envelope, which is always empty. So I need to put another £30 in there. I still have another £3 coins left in my petrol envelope, but I'm just gonna put that to one side. And we're gonna restuff that with £50 for the month. if I can count. My phone bill is 15, and hallelujah, I can actually make some change. Okay, we still need to make more change in the beauty envelope once I get a £5 note. I don't have one right now because I'm never prepared for anything, but we're going with it. The 90-ish pounds that I have left over from last month, like I said, I'm gonna take that and bring it forward into this month's budget to try and soak up some of the expense of the car part and the hotel room from last month. Usually I would put it in my Christmas tin, but I like need it now. This 37 pence can go in the Christmas tin. Merry Christmas. And actually the £3 that I had left in the petrol cash stuffing envelope is gonna go in my £1 savings challenge. If you are watching this right now thinking, what an erratic hot mess of a budgeting video. Yes, but I hope this kind of just goes to show that things don't always work out perfectly. Sometimes things are a little bit messy. Sometimes you have to deviate away from the plan. Sometimes you have to switch things around. We're all just trying to make it work right now. And with the economy the way it is anyone not an erratic hot mess with their money right now? All that really matters is that you're staying on top of your budget, you're tracking your finances, and you are saving anything you can. If that is 37 pence, girl, right now, if you were breaking even, you're winning because it is brutal out there. So that's another £3 into my £1 savings challenge, which brings my total to 13. Okay friends, that is my monthly budget all mapped out for September. My cash is stuffed, my brain is fried. It's time to wrap things up. Don't forget, if you want to see my monthly goal reset, it's over on Patreon for free. I will leave the link in the description box down below. But don't forget that you are enough just as you are. I love you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye!
There was once